Spend your stones wisely this anniversary and ensure you get what you want. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are talking summon strategy. We are 6 days away from the start of the anniversary, and we have some big decisions to make this year, right? Normally when we're dealing with the anniversary, we are dealing with, maybe 2 units in part 2 and 2 units in part 1. But this year we've got 6 units across the entire celebration, and that is 3 in part 1 and 3 in part 2. Typically on Global, we have the advantage of foresight in knowing what's coming in part 2 to kind of help guide us, but now we don't. So we have to be a little wiser in how we spend our stones in order to ensure that not only can we get what we want in part 1, or skip if we need to, but ensure we also have what's necessary to get what we want in part 2 as well. So first things first, before we hop into this video, let's make something very clear. If you are a free-to-play player, there's a very high likelihood that you may not walk out with all 3 of the anniversary units. So you have to make the decision. Once we learn the kits and see everything we need to know about the banners, make your decision quick on who it is you want to focus on, right? And then plan your summons around that character. Have the understanding that, all 3 may not be possible. If it happens, great, but plan around only focusing on 1, right? Because not only are we having to deal with focusing on the unit, we also have to focus on what's going to be on the banners that they're on, which we don't know for certain yet, but we can, we made some pretty good guesses. We know for sure who will be on, plus a few extras. We also know that we have pity coins, right? During Worldwide, we were introduced to the LR pity coin for major celebrations. There's a good chance it's coming back during anniversary. We won't know for certain until it happens, but more than likely it will. We've had pity on every banner since then. Doesn't make sense for them not to have it here as well. But we do have to understand that it is a 2,500 stone pity, so we have to do everything in our favor to set ourselves up for success. And the last thing we need to understand is we also have rainbow tickets. These rainbow tickets will be used for a 77 ticket multi at the end of the celebration, which will allow you to recruit do a summon for 77 characters on one of the major banners, where you're more than likely going to pull one of the units. So now that we understand all of that, let's talk strategy. The first piece of the strategy is deciding who you want to focus on, whether that is Vegito, whether that is Blue Evolution Vegeta, whether that is Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So let's say you're like me and you want to focus on the Dokkan Fest first, right? The Vegito, right? Understand that this is likely what we're dealing with on his banner. On his banner, as we talked in the previous video, he's gonna have AGL Broly. He's gonna have the trio. He's gonna have either Zamos or the Blue Duo, one of the 8 years, and then more than likely the 6-year LRs. They're going to be on his banner. The 7 years will be on the part 2 when they as they prepare for their EZA. So understand that this is the banner you're dealing with for part 1 with Vegito. So my recommendation is, if that's what you're dealing with, right, take a look at the other one, right? With the carnivals, you're right, this is a top legendary carnival, so both of these LRs, the Blue Evolution Vegeta and the Goku, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, are going to be on it. Plus, for part 1, Gogeta, Broly, Trunks, and probably Kid Gohan and Ginyu will be on part 1. Carnival summon, plus a bunch of miscellaneous SSRs, since it is a carnival banner. So with that in mind, right, decide whose banner you want to focus on, what's going to be most beneficial for your account, and then just go ahead and dump all your stones into that banner, assuming you want a character in part 1. You have been saving up all year long. Some of you have more than 1,000 stones. Some of you have more than 2,000 stones. Dump whatever you can into whichever banner you decide is most value to you. Once you've made that decision, keep pulling until you get the unit. Don't switch. A lot of people I know like to do this, right? Hey, I'm going to do 300 stones on Vegito's banner. Then I'm going to do 300 stones on here. Then I'm going to do 300 stones on here. Honestly, because of the way the new pity system works, I would say it's probably in your best favor to just focus down one unit, whether that is Vegito or one of the other three. And the reason being is, right, let's say you dump, 1,500 stones, right? Let's say you get incredibly unlucky and you dump 1,500 stones into Vegito. But on that 1,500, you finally pull, on that last multi, you finally pulled Vegito. Right now, if you're somebody who's got a bunch of extra SSRs laying around, you were probably able to trade a bunch of the stuff you got on your way to Vegito into the Baba shop for coins. Those coins now, all those Dokkan Fest coins you put into Vegito, 1,500 worth of them, can now be traded for Carnival coins, plus everything you traded in with him. That will put you extremely close to what you need for the to pull at least one of these guys for the other Carnival unit for the part 1, right? On an average player's count, I would say 1,700 is about the mark where you should be able to trade up for coins. You don't need to go the full 2,500 unless you get incredibly unlucky and never pull an extra SSR, but that doesn't happen for most people. So but that's assuming you get incredibly shafted. If you don't get incredibly shafted, right, let's say you do your first multi on Vegito and you get Vegito, well, then hop on over and go to one of the others. The Carnival banner is incredibly nice because, right, you have a chance of pulling one of two, right? So you can just focus on one while not necessarily focusing on the other and still have your chance of possibly pulling the other. It's really nice that way, having the top Carnival. But just understand, the main way to ensure you get what you want is to invest fully on one and then trade your coins to pull the other. Then what I would say to do, right? So let's say, right, we dump as much as we can until we get Vegito. We send all of our coins over to the other one, and then we do a couple summons, and we say we pull, let's say we pull Vegeta after summoning for Vegito. We could potentially trade for Goku. If not, right, we can still continue to summon on part 1 until we get them, and then use our coins in part 2 to summon for... to trade for whoever the part 2 units is, right? That is the greatest value of this system. Is it doesn't matter where you summon as long as you are summoning. It's so much better. It makes our summon strategy that we do every year a lot more viable. All right, to add on to that, like I said, we do have these tons of thanks tickets, so plan around that, right? Plan on focusing on one, and then whoever you don't get, use your tickets to summon for that character. So, like me personally, I feel the best approach is to go for Vegeta and Goku since they are on the same banner, and then use your tickets on Vegito's banner entering part 3 if you don't pull him by then, right? This way, there's more than likelihood with this setup is you will walk out with at least 2 of the anniversary units, which is pretty darn good deal, I would say, for most players, because I mean, dealing with 6 LRs now, right, that's kind of rough. Most people during an anniversary only ever walk out with 2, but if you follow this system here, there's a good chance, unless luck is really not on your side this time, which can happen, you are more than likely going to be walking out with at least 1 or 2 of the units. So guys, that is it for the video. That is our summon strategy. Again, no matter how many stones you have, take everything you've got, pick a banner, and focus all in on it. Don't jump back and forth, all right, because you then start to kind of mess with your odds. If you guys remember the what are your chances video that we did, right? The more you focus in on one banner, the more you're rolling the dice on that banner, the more likely it is that you will pull the said unit. So Like I said, if you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know which character are you going to be focusing on for this anniversary. Who do you want the most, and who will you end up using your coins on? Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.